Hello, welcome back to Football United TV. I'm joined by a special host, Al, who supports Sheffield United. And, well, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, Matt. How are you doing, pal?
Yeah, not too bad, man. It's a big pleasure to have you on to the show. I want to ask you a
It's a pleasure
question
to be there.
about. Thank you very much. I want to ask you a question, and I've been thinking about it all day, and I've been wondering what your response will be. How did you feel about getting promotion last season into the Premier League from Championship?
Oof. Amazed, to be honest. I mean, we've been in the Championship a season before that, which was an amazing season, but we just about missed out on the playoffs. So I think the target for last season really, ideally, well, realistically, it was going to be playoffs, and then it was a bit of a roller coaster from there. We were battling it out with Leeds for most of the season. It looked like that we'd completely bottled it at one point, and then over one bank holiday weekend, they sort of capitulated, and we just carried on winning. And then suddenly it was open top bus parades again.
It's an amazing thing. I mean, it's been a long time since Sheffield United have played in the Premier League, right?
I think 2006, 2007 season we were last in there,
It's only
and
about 12 years.
it's been a long time since all of the the Carlos Tevez affair and all that, but we shouldn't get bogged down with that.
Well, Carlos Tevez, I hold him dear to my heart for Man United, of course. But Sheffield United, I remember there was a film When Saturday Comes. You remember that coming out? Sean Bean. Really, I loved seeing that. So how long have you been a Sheffield United supporter for?
Quite a long time now. Admittedly, when I was a kid, I wasn't that much of a football fan when I was like a little kid. So I probably got into United maybe a few seasons before we were in the Premier League. And then sort of weirdly, I think I've watched most of my career watching Sheffield United, if you can put it that way, was when we were in League One. It seemed to be when I went the most. Home and away.
Yeah. That's the weird thing, isn't it? Is that a true thing, do you think? Or
no, I wouldn't say so. In terms of the actual attendance at the grounds, it's definitely higher now at Bramall Lane. And when we're in League One, we probably got about 20,000 every week. And when the season we got promoted, a bit more. So it's always been pretty well attended. I think there's usually I'd say there's 17,000 like diehard blades, and then everyone else on top of that, really. But I mean, like this season, for example, obviously we're in the Premier League, but we've been selling out pretty much every week, so about 30,000 plus.
Yeah, because it's a 33,000 seater.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, I guess the only problem with that is it's 30. Well, it's 32 and a half, but you only really get 31 because of like police segregating the grounds, things like that.
How do you feel about the start of Sheffield United's Premier League season? Obviously, drawing 2-2 as well recently with Chelsea. How do you feel it's going? It's not too bad, from my opinion, but
yeah, not too shabby to be honest. I think. Obviously the game on Sunday was amazing. I managed to get a ticket to Stamford Bridge. Annoyingly, I missed the entire. Yeah, it was amazing. It was such a good day. It was an ordeal because I sat up about 9:30 in the morning, and because of our beautiful train system, I didn't arrive till half time.
Oh wow! But still, you're a dedicated fan. You went there. You was like, I'm still going to go in. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I was going to miss the first half, but as it turned out,
train delays, by the way.
Yeah, my train broke down in about a mile outside of Sheffield, and then I couldn't get down to London until I think we got to King's Cross about 3:00. So I knew I was going to miss the first half, but had a feeling inside that it might be a bit of a roller coaster of a game.
Of course, but you had a good time and supporting the team from a 2-2 draw with Chelsea, who we all know won the Europa League recently. They got Frank Lampard in. It seems like a tough place to go to, especially when you've just been promoted as well. But you did very well, and I thought that. I mean, how did you feel about the game in your experience?
So I mean, obviously, I think when I basically got down to London, I saw the goals coming in for Chelsea, and I was like, fucking hell, I don't know if I can swear on this, but
You can. It's okay.
yeah, oh, we might be in for drubbing here. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have come down to London. But yeah, I got there pretty much for the end of the first half, and then by the sounds of it, we didn't play so well in the first, but in the seconds, they came out all guns blazing. And like within a minute, Ender Stevens was breaking down the wing, cutting in, putting it on the plate for Callum Robinson, and yeah, we just put them under pressure for the whole second half. And I think yeah, we really did ourselves proud.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the difference with promoted teams is if you look back in the years of people being promoted from Championship, they've always sort of played this defensive role against bigger teams. But from what I've seen at the start of this season so far, is that the promoted teams have actually tried to go all out, like Norwich versus Liverpool. Okay, they lost heavily, but they still went for it. They still looked like they were going, okay, we're going to score, you score, we'll keep attacking. Do you think Sheffield United have got the same approach? Do you think they're just going to show what they can do, especially what they did last season in Championship?
Yeah, basically, I think that's sort of Wilder's never going to stray from his philosophy. I think that he's always going to go and try and win a game. He's never going to come and sit there and, as I said, yeah, he's got a philosophy and a way he wants to play, and he's not going to move away from that. I mean, he's still somewhat pragmatic, but yeah, I think he's going to try and win every game, and I'm more than happy for that. If you get drubbed by a Liverpool or a Man City, so be it. I think we've got plenty to stay up in this.
I think so too. Do you know what? It's a very weird. It's going to be a very weird season, I feel, because I don't necessarily think that the three promoted teams will go down. I mean, the way that Aston Villa have been playing against other teams. All right, they haven't started off too great, and Norwich haven't really either, but they've got the win. Norwich recently, didn't they, with Pookie as well?
Yeah, he's looking like a cracker.
Yeah, he sounds like he's a very good player, isn't he? But your favourite player for Sheffield United, who would that be right now, even after just only a certain amount of games? Who do you think's got the potential to be that person that other clubs in the Premier League look at and say, wow, like why didn't we capture him, or why didn't we think about looking at him?
I think there's a couple this season. So I think Ollie Norwood. Ollie Norwood is one of them for sure. He's the way that you can just like ping a ball. It's like long range, you can ping a ball like long distance, almost kind of like, you know, how you picture almost like Steven Gerrard. I'm not making too many close comparisons, but
I'd say Paul Scholes, but yeah.
Yeah, you can really ping a ball. He's got an amazing range of passing. He can shoot. He's also kind of got a bit of grit about him. But I think in terms of some of the other players, I mean, there's Ender Stevens, who has been an ever-present since League One, and he had an absolute stormer against Chelsea. I think he got 2 assists in that. I think he put the ball in for Robinson and the ball in for, well, what looked like Mousse, but it was an own goal. And yeah, I think he's an absolutely cracking player. I think Luke Freeman is a strange one as well. We got from QPR in the summer. He looks like an absolute bargain, to be honest. He's been getting amazing. He's been returning, I don't know how many. He's been getting loads of assists in the Championship for the last few years, and we've got him for 4 million, which was breaking our transfer record.
From QPR, right?
Yeah.
Which they done pretty. I mean, they done pretty well, but I think that's the good thing. I think pulling out players from the Championship to try and help a promoted club go up. I mean, you look at what Man United done with getting Daniel James as well, and
yeah,
there are really good players in the Championship. I think people don't realise the potential that people have got in that league, and in order to buy players to help boost your team to the Premier League, I think that's a really good shout.
Yeah, and you know what? This is kind of something that Wilder's always done with us. So when we were in the Championship, we'd get like sort of League One players. Almost sometimes it seems like ridiculously poor signings, and then you get David McGoldrick scoring not scoring, but scoring like 20 plus goals last season. I thought he's probably pretty past it. You've got We had Leon Clark in the Championship getting 18 plus goals, and I think when you get these players from the league below, they're hungry, they've got a point to prove, and there can often be a little bit of a diamond in the rough. And I think character is first and foremost for Wilder, and it seems to be working for us so far.
Of course, yeah. I mean, a character thing is definitely, you need that in your squad, don't you? You need that push from players that can push other players around and say, look, you need to pick it up and do a lot better. I think with the way that Liverpool is as well, how Liverpool. I think you might have saw Mane going at Salah, when he come off the bench, when they substituted. But that's good. I think that's a really good thing for Liverpool, and I think Klopp sees that as well. The fact that his players are moaning about coming off the field, like that, and I think promotion teams, they need to feel that sort of same thing, like the fact that you want to be the best, you've got to put in your shift. You know what I mean, and show your compassion to want to play. So how do you think Sheffield United will do for the rest of the season? I know it's a bit of a prediction thing, you can't really tell, but in your mind and what you've seen so far.
I think from what I've seen so far, we look pretty strong. We defensively look, but bar a bit of a couple of goalkeeping blunder, a goalkeeping blunder and a little bit of a defensive error against Chelsea, which can happen to anyone. I think barring that, I think we've looked exceptionally solid at the back. We've got the same centre backs that we had last year, and O'Connell and Basham have been there since League One, so they all know each other so well, and I think it's really reflected on the pitch, and we look solid. And as well as that, we're playing the ball. We're not like as you say, your typical like promoted side, just hoofing it up to big men up front.
Yeah, you're actually playing the football you played.
Yeah, I think we've got more than enough to stay up. Of course, I'm super biased in this opinion.
Of course, and I
think we'll be all right. I think Wild is very, very tactically astute, and I think we've got the potential to. I don't know. I think we'll stay up.
I hope you do as well, because it makes I think the league more interesting to see other teams that have been scraping through Premier League get chucked out. I think Watford look like they might go down this season. I'm not sure what you think about that. Not started very well, and they've stayed up for quite a long time. It is a tricky one, yeah. I can't really put a finger on who I think's going to go down. Who do you think will go down next season? If looking at it right now, I know it's very hard because it's only the start, but
I know they got a good win against Spurs the other week, but I feel Newcastle could be. Well, for me, I think they'd be the one that I'd be looking at to get relegated.
I think Watford.
Really?
I just hate Mike Ashley.
Oh yeah, fair play. Yeah,
getting rid of Rafa Benitez. Are you mad? And getting Steve Bruce? But yeah, carry on. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, you're all right, mate. I think Newcastle will probably go back down again. Perhaps maybe Bournemouth. I think they've had a little bit of an up and down start. They didn't look like they were up to much when we played them. I feel Watford have probably got enough about them to stay up. I mean, if you look at the team, some of the players they've got with Will Hughes, De La Feu, they've got a strong team. But obviously, strong teams have gone down before.
Exactly. One last question. It's a kind of a prediction question. Where do you think you'll finish at the end of the season? What position? Will you be happy with that?
It's a tricky one. I think you'll take the piss out of me, but I mean,
no, I won't.
I did put. I did put a quid in us to win the league just in case. Imagine if you were the Leicester fan that didn't bet on to win the Premier League.
Exactly. I mean, the guy that did that,
is what I always think.
He won a lot of money as well, didn't he? Fair play to that guy.
Yeah, it's 5,000 to 1.
Mental.
I looked at our odds. They were a lot short. 2,500 to 1 if you're interested.
Oh wow!
Last time I looked.
You put it in as well.
Yeah, well, I've got a quid on it anyway.
Well, that'll still get you some money, mate. So yeah.
When
do you think you finish?
I think maybe 14th. something like that. I think by the end of it, I think we'll be fairly secure against relegation. I don't think we're going to be scrapping it out on the last day, like last time we were in the Premier League. I mean, I'm always an optimist, but I've seen a lot of encouraging signs to so far, and I think we've got some players that still haven't really played, like Musa, and I think Ravel Morrison even is going to be an interesting one. And I think if that can come together, I think he could be an absolute player for us.
If you can get the best out of Ravel Morrison, that will be amazing because he is a talent. But it's a shame that he hasn't. He's obviously like moved around so much as well. I think he come from Mexico, right, recently.
Yeah. I think he was last playing in Sweden.
But yeah, he's definitely got the talent for it, I think, and I agree with you. If you can pull that out of him as well, he'll be a great adaptation to the striking force. Could ask you one more question: who do you think will win the Premier League, apart from Sheffield United, of course?
I think probably Man City, which I don't know. I'd almost, you might not agree with me, but I'd quite like Liverpool to win it just for.
I agree with you. I just hate it because the two rivals of mine are the two top teams, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's like, do I like that? I prefer Man City to win it. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be the general opinion from United fans. Yeah, I'd like. I mean, ideally, I'd like an Arsenal, maybe a Spurs or something like that, but it's not looking likely.
Maybe that might happen. I mean, that was a good game on Sunday, wasn't it? So.
Oh, yeah, it was an absolute belter.
Well, Al, thank you very much. I know you got to go out soon as well, and.
Yeah, no worries. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, mate. Thank you very much, and we'd love to get you back on again soon, especially maybe for United versus United.
Yeah.
I should have said that first. West Ham or anybody else. But yeah, that'd be really great for you to come back on. Thank you very much, Al, and have a pleasant day. Thank you very much, dude.
You too, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.